Hi, intrepid viewers. It's my birthday and I wanted to spend it with you guys. Now, I have to confess, I was secretly hoping that I'd wake up this morning to find the Yeti had been arrested in the night. Imagine. For anything really, money laundering, tax evasion, emoluments violations, sedition. Mais non. But the day is yet young, so a girl can dream. So I'm dreaming. Okay, and we're on the brink of December. So I thought, oh, best have a look-see. If there's anything juicy coming up in December, let's have a look. Let me have a gulp of coffee, morning coffee. And what is going to transpire in December? December. All right. I'll do 3 cards for each week. See how we go. Oh, week 2 looks juicy. Here we go. All right. So we're going to kick off December with this rather, in a way, more of the same. These pointless attacks of people attacking each other, but there's a bit of movement here. Hold on, I'll just turn up my sound a little bit. There we go. Now, with this, have a good look at the stormy skies and the figures walking away. They're the ones who are important. They're the ones who have thrown down their swords and are refusing to go ahead and support this guy. The story behind this, to me, has always been these guys have all together won a battle, but now they're beginning to think this one is too ruthless, does not care, and there's got to be some sort of way of getting through to him, but they couldn't, so they have to walk away. You know what? Interesting. Now, the first week of December, a lovely card of balance and harmony and the ever gorgeous star of inspiration and hope. So maybe going into the holiday season, there could be this sort of heightened feeling of no one wants another year like this year. So what's ahead and people starting to be nice to each other. It's like the opposite card of this. So it's like, if you like, this is the MAGA world. There's some splintering off in MAGA world, not a lot. We can't delude ourselves, but there is some peeling away. And sanity prevailing on some level. This would be helped, of course, if the pastors and priests and reverends do their job. And I think they do it much better in many ways, in almost every denomination. But here it's like evangelicals versus real Christianity, perhaps. I did do a video some years ago, are evangelicals even Christians? Right, because this is the best of Christianity. And America needs it. It's a hyper-religious country, so the good Christian leaders need to speak up. Now, week 2. The sun is going to shine on something major that has been fated. This is the Wheel of Fortune. So, ding, ding. And here we have the hostage. So I'm thinking week 2, something major is going to be revealed that will impact the whole country, right? This is part of the karma and destiny moving forward for America. And with the Wheel of Fortune card, it's usually a good news card. But if you see the wheel turns constantly, we have the 4 figures, power, celestial figures, all holding a book, the Akashic record. So America does need to look at the stuff we've been talking about over and over and over. It needs to deal with this karmic legacy of what has happened. MAGA world hasn't come from nowhere, right? So I think there will be exposés in week 2 that could lead to the arrest, injunctions, indictments, something on another series of people, because these are both major arcana cards, right? Big guns. So I think this is more than one person. Could be as many as 8. It is the 8 of Swords. Let's keep our eye on week 2. Now, this is the 4 of Wands, traditionally the wedding card, foundations, building things up, making things work into the future. But we've got to remember this card. So I think this is sort of patching up. There's a burden attached to it. So I think these are people who have banded together, and I was just reading yesterday where the Yeti has been on the phone night and day, mainly night, ringing people and doing the mob boss thing of don't say anything, don't do anything. And I think people are weighing that up. If you look here, the wands themselves, the proportions are huge compared with the people. In other words, the issues are bigger than the individual people, right? And this is becoming a burden. To support the Yeti is becoming a burden that is impacting on the entire country. Oh, here's justice. I wonder if this is in the form of Letitia James. I'd like to think so. A few of you have asked for me to read on SDNY, so I might do a little sub-read after this on the Justice card. So, week 3 is going to see the testing of these relationships in a judicial format. Week 4, which is the 4th week of December, including Christmas, of course. So nostalgia reigns supreme. Everyone manages to convince themselves that things are okay and let's go back to 1954 or perhaps 1955 when I was born. I'll save you the math. I'm 66 today. So this is looking back. This is comparative kindness, spirit of the season and all that. But who comes in to wreck the party? I'm glad you asked. That would be the trumpet, the King of Pentacles. So on the one hand, he's been very successful of getting so many people to be convinced that the past was a glorious place. But this is starting to wear thin here. And the final card, the Hierophant. I think very late in the day, there's going to be some sort of breakthrough, I suspect, with the Jan 6 committee. I mean, they are fighting for actually maintaining democracy in the United States. or the disunited states of America, and they're taking that very seriously. So although holidays will be announced, I think they'll be working through this time. So weeks 3 and 4, we have Justice and the Hierophant. So let's just have a quick look here. I'm going to leave those cards down and have a quick look at SDNY. Last I had a proper look at what was going on, there were 2 sort of broad investigations, and they were being rolled into one sort of mega case in a way. Let me have a sip of coffee. So, what's happening? Cy Vance is retiring as we speak. The new guy who's taking over from Cy Vance, I'll read on him next time. Oh, what fell out? Ace of Swords. Thank you, Letitia. Okay, he's really important, obviously. What's he made of? How committed is he? How good is he? We need to know. Well, so Ace of Swords for Letitia James. Let me pull a couple of other cards. Here we go. Magician. Oh, I love this. An ace and 2 major arcanas. The Sword of Truth. The Sword of Truth. Piercing the crown. Who was that judge who said presidents aren't kings? Just a little reminder to the nation. I love this. The Magician, ultra powerful. God knows there needs to be some good news, and some big good news. The Magician has the power to transform, adapt, and all those things, but to make things manifest. There's a Harry Potter vibe to this, right? Magician. And finally, the Judgment card. I couldn't be happier, intrepid viewers. People waking up. People waking up. Now, the Judgment card is coming right at the end of the major arcana, just before the World. And it's also about not just where's my Justice card? The Justice card tends to be more targeted, individuals or individual people and small groups, etc. This is the biggie. This is us as global citizens. Excuse me. What is happening in America? That old saying, America sneezes, the world gets a cold. We all have to learn, which is why so many in the world have been so fixated on America in these last few years, because America's always been symbolic of a place to dream. It's been symbolic in the sense that what it represents has always been bigger and truly better than the sum of its parts, right? So while you struggle on with the world's worst health system and a really cruel system of higher education and so many defects, the dream of America remains important. So the world is absolutely riveted because everyone is dealing with similar issues, the rise of the far right, of populist, often right-wing leaders who are really good at talking the talk and getting people to come on board, not having a single policy that was worth having, not having a human heart or a human thought. They're very easily elected. So the whole world is watching how America and its legal system hold up under this assault. So I'm loving the Judgment card here, right? We are all responsible for the judgment, because things will only move forward if we expect and insist on things being done better. We, the people. Okay, beloved viewers, I have to go off now because I have to meet up with my sister. Now, she's a force of nature. I'm the quiet one. Okay. So I'm off to do that. And I just want to check in and remind you all how much I adore you. Mwah, 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 mwah. And here's to the dreamers. Thank you, Ernesto. You know who I mean. Big love. Bye, guys. Ciao, ciao.